I used to hate pooping in public. You know the feeling. Nothing is worse than stinking up the shared toilet at work. Or the toilet.
Skip the ad.
I used to.
Peace, peace. In the divine name of the supreme being, I want to greet everyone with civilized greeting in a very uncivilized time. I'm sure you can attest to that. Peace, shalom, assalamu alaikum, what's popping, what's good, good evening, whatever it be, whatever greeting you go by. All right. Peace to Aisha Ra, Michael D. Shabazz, Soleil, peace, love. Harold Taylor, Brother Majid, Muhammad, and everybody else just signing on and joining on Facebook Live, YouTube here, Donald Williams, Zach Burtz, Chris Lee. All right, everybody else that's signing on. Soleil, you all right? Concern. Kiana. Who else? It's gonna take a few minutes for some people to come on. My Hood, My Block Radio. Peace. What's good, man? Black Econ Power Broker. All right. Stan G. Ra. Tracy D. Sean Carter. Peace, Sean. Tanya L. Keats. Harold Taylor. Yeah, we're gonna give the people a few minutes to kind of sign on. Black Dot. Peace. Dot. Dang. Let me see. Let me see if I got your book here. Dot. I think I do. B Son. I got your message, man, about that thing. But yeah, peace, B Son. All right. Black Dot, we gotta get back together on some things, man, for real. All right. Peace to everyone in Google Hangout, Facebook Live, that's watching this. Tell somebody, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their drunk Uncle Leroy, to tell their grandmother that we on Serious Minds RNTV, radio and television. Broke out some of the notes, Professor Griff notes for RNTV for Serious Minds. We're going to dive into some things. I hope you're all prepared. I think y'all are getting the idea now that I don't get on my show and just talk. I'd rather interact with you. All right, so we can collective minds can come together so we can tackle these subjects. I don't do a show to show you how smart and intelligent and bright I am. All right. Black Dots are just named the place. And we're going to make it happen. All right. Put the black dot signal in the air. I will, definitely. There's a whole lot going on. And I think Urban Culture Decoded, Hip Hop Decoded speaks to what should be some of the solutions. All right. So those are two books by Black Dot. And we definitely gotta make some things happen, man. All right, so let's try to make something happen in August, man. When your queen come on down, see if we can do something. All right, but anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. In the meantime, between time, let me make a few announcements before we get into the subject. Peace to Michelle Evans. All right, those of y'all that are in the Capitol Heights area in Maryland, I will be doing a brunch with Professor Griff. All right, no, we ain't gonna have no damn bacon and eggs. Stop that, y'all. It's Sunday, May 7th, my daughter's born day, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Up close and personal Q&A with Professor Griff, a Q&A session at Everlasting Life Vegan Restaurant. All right, the seating is limited. All right, so only about 50 people can fit up in the spot. So let's make it happen. Ticket price includes the full brunch. Buy the ticket, you get the food. All right, I'll be talking about my book. Matter of fact, both of my books, The Psychological Covert War on Hip Hop, Book 1 and 2. All right. Jose, you got to call me, man. I ain't even got your number. All right. So 678-557-2919. Peace to Kim. All right, Nicole. All right. That's at Everlasting Life in Capitol Heights. All right. Tickets also available at Everlasting Life Vegan Restaurant, 9185 Central Avenue, Capitol Heights, Maryland. All right. Let me see this other information. That'll be the brunch on the 7th, May 7th. All right. It's all vegan, so I'm definitely gonna have some pancakes. I don't know about y'all, for real. Hold on. And It's a Solstice Bazaar at Everlasting Life Vegan Restaurant. All right. It says get your autograph copy of Symbology Book 2, Volume 2, which is my book, The Psychological Covert on Hip Hop Book 2. That's Saturday, May 6th. So the whole weekend, I'm going to be with Brother Baruch and the family down at Everlasting Life. All right. From 12 noon to 6. Vending includes clothing, jewelry, soaps, books, DVDs, art, stationery, oils, herbs, you name it. There's going to be vendors there selling it. Everlasting Life, 9185 Central Avenue, Capitol Heights, Maryland. All right. But this weekend, I'll be in Norfolk. All right. Anybody in the VA area, Norfolk, Virginia. The Sessions of Elements with Professor Griff, April 29th, House of Consciousness, featuring DJ Spirat and DJ Nameless with Rubber Peel and Hamza, the Seventh Son. All right. The House of Consciousness, 3 a.m., 633 West 35th Street, Norfolk, VA, at the House of Consciousness. All right. Meet me there so we can break bread. We can discuss some things and we can talk about these symbols. All right. I'm adding a whole bunch of new symbols to the lecture. Peace to my man, Johnny Juice. Peace to the Ernest Grant. All right. Juice, I reposted your interview up on my Facebook page, man. All right. People need to hear what we have to say about this Public Enemy thing. All right. I want to dive into this subject, of course, with y'all's help. All right. And I'm going to approach it in a very, I don't know, sterile kind of way. But let me put some of my notes in front of me. I renamed this, Can We All Just Get Along? Simply because the question that I want to be able to answer, all right, the question I want to be able to answer is, can we all just get along? Now, shout out to my man Shane for the flyer. Really appreciate that. And basically, we put on the flyer, we talked about the LA riots. Some people may say it was the LA uprising or the LA rebellion. All right. Which I agree. But the question now becomes, what has changed for Black people since the uprising, since the rebellion, since the riots during the Rodney King verdict? All right. And then since the Rodney King verdict happened and the drama that went down on the West Coast, of course, the ripple effect happened. And what happened on the East Coast? What happened in all of the states and cities in between? All right. I want to be able to answer those questions. All right. I'm listening to a couple of things on people's different perspectives and a couple of things that came to mind. How do we measure racism? How do you say, well, things have gotten better racially with Donald Punk sitting in the White House? How do we tolerate certain degree of ignorance? And peace to Trina Alvarette, Ohio, of course. Gloria Daniels, peace. Curtis Weaver, peace. In this day and age of information, ignorance is a choice. We need to keep repeating that. In this day and age of social media, SOCMED, whatever you want to call it, social media digital heroin, according to Sean Carter. In this day and age of information, for you to want to be ignorant and dumb, that's a choice. All right? That's a choice. So we're going to dive into this subject and kind of piece it apart. Roll your mind back for a minute. Where were you when the Rodney King verdict was read? Where were you when you saw? See, to young people nowadays, when you mention Rodney King, they don't have a clue. They think Rodney King is a rapper. So, peace to Alex Scott. So, we got to understand. Peace to Trish, all the way from Toronto, Trish J. But we got to answer that question for young people, doing our just diligence and due for young people. Of course, peace to Jazz, hitting me up all the way from Germany. Yeah, lay off the bloodwurst and the liverwurst and all that other stuff. Just, yeah, you might want to go vegan for a minute, being in Germany. Anyway, We have to answer these questions for young people. All right. So let's dive into it. Roll your mind back to where were you when the rebellion happened, when the riots happened, and you could go to Google and Google it now and see some of the images. All right. It is a very, very critical thing when you watch justice or the lack thereof. When you see a whore, yeah, I said whore, not hoe, whore sitting in the harbor holding a torch, and it's supposed to be the beacon of light and representing justice. When the whore in the harbor is holding a torch and holding the scales of justice in her other hand, which is supposed to represent ma'at, truth, balance, justice, and reciprocity. And then black people cannot get justice in America, not on the streets, in the schools, in the halls of justice. We can't get justice anywhere. All right. So to see a man being pulled over innocently as he was pulled over, but because he had a court appearance that he didn't make or a warrant or whatever, the whole idea of him being nervous is very natural for black men being pulled over in the middle of the night by white cops. All right. So the situation ensued with them asking certain questions, and then the beating started. All right. They accused four white men of beating Rodney King, but there was 9 officers there. I counted 9. I don't know how many of you've counted, but this was very real, and this is one of the first times now. There's some question now about the white couple from wherever they were overseas that ended up in a hotel that was there that got the whole thing on film. You know something, and I think this was like the beginning of not the beginning of black people getting beat by white people and getting beat by cops. That's always happened. Whether it's slave patrols or police officers with badges. I'm saying to y'all, when it was captured on film, this began the whole idea of social media and people catching things on film to say to the world, we haven't been lying. We're not lying. We're being honest with you when we're telling you about police brutality. When we're telling you about the degree of hatred. Peace to Andre Guilty from Roosevelt, Long Island, New York. Shout out to everybody in the Velt. So now that social media is providing us a global platform to catch it on film, we're seeing Asian people being dragged off of planes. We're seeing people in department stores and people in custody, in police custody, being beat. We're seeing all kinds of things that you would have never been privy to. All right. So let's understand this particular dynamic on how technology now is allowing us the opportunity to present this back to those lawmakers that can now see and understand what we've been saying all this time. All right. Social media, along with technology, is allowing us the opportunity to let other people know what's been going on with black people, and they're still denying it. All right. So I'm going to pull up a couple of articles, mainly one where it talks about Black Death is the new porn. Black Death is the new porn. So if people on Google Hangout here on YouTube is watching this, if you have access to your phone or your computer, or the people that's on Facebook Live have access to your computer, vice versa, however you'll do it, can look that up. Black Death is the new porn, so we can all be on the same page. How we become, Hotep, my brother, what day are you in Norfolk? Saturday, coming Saturday, this Saturday at 3 o'clock at the House of Consciousness. Black Death is the new porn. Have we become desensitized? It says in the in 1964 Supreme Court cases, now they're deciding cases. Let's not get wrapped up into that individual case. So I'm going to skip over that and bypass that for right now. But Michael Harriet talked about on Afro, he's an Afro punk writer and contributor, but he talked about that's how the mind works. Eventually we'll see something or experience a thing so many times greater, I guess he was saying, that is no longer shocking to our brain anymore. Basically what he was talking about. Peace to Minister Server. All right, Minister Server, we got to talk about that thing in August, bro. All right, but the whole idea of Minister Farrakhan saying that Elijah Muhammad told him we won't be able to fathom the depths of their wickedness. But now we're seeing these people for who and what they are because we're catching them on film. But most of us still don't believe what we're seeing. Mike Brown, there were witnesses there that saw this white police officer shoot Mike Brown down like a dog in the street. But yet, according to their investigation, the velocity of the bullet and how he turned at a certain angle and he batted his eyelash, and that gave the right for the white cop or the justification for the white cop to shoot him down. Y'all need to stop watching fucking Forensic Files and the IG channel late at night. Seriously. Y'all believe white people and their madness. A lot of y'all will believe Forensic Files before y'all believe the Bible. And most of y'all are Christians. So this article talks about obscene, it talks about it works that with sex, with violence, with remembering how upsetting